Hello and welcome to today's highly requested update video from the Pro Traders Lounge. My name is Yunus and I will be covering the bearish Bitcoin Elliott wave count, as we have now hit our major targets towards the upside and we have also entered our shorts at the highs here. We could potentially be looking at lower targets for the Bitcoin price in the near future. Let's jump into that. Before we get into the local structure here for the Bitcoin chart, I want to give you guys a little bit more context and show you how this count has developed over the years, taking us back all the way towards 2021, anticipating a high to be put in this area, taking us all the way back towards 30k, pushing all the way back towards this red zone area, and then of course this was a big sell area. Obviously this anticipation was pretty nicely, we did have a nice reaction at all those boxes and taking us all the way back towards 16k in that area. When I posted this was also the low for Bitcoin as well, so that's pretty nice. A big buy sign, I would say. Now for this higher time frame Bitcoin Elliott wave count, we were anticipating a bigger move towards the upside again, as we were anticipating this to be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an impulse. Naturally you're looking for this to be then a 5 wave, 5, 3, 5 potentially. So an ABC towards the upside was very likely in my opinion. So far obviously we're saying targets between 40 to 50k. Let's jump into this in this chart now and see where Bitcoin is right now. So as we are now hit the bigger targets I was looking for, 40 to 50k here. Yeah, as you can see we did squeeze through the golden pocket, but the next target for me was still going to be 50k. As we have hit, we didn't really actually hit it, we front run it a bit, but we did have some local higher time frame levels that I was looking at. So am I now completely bearish? Are we now looking for this bigger move toward the downside? I will be covering the bearish scenario here tonight. For the bullish scenario, I will keep that for the members, but keep in mind there is still a bullish scenario for Bitcoin that we could still bring us higher here towards the upside. I'm okay with that. I'm not bothered. If this scenario gets invalidated, we will go over the invalidation here in a second. So first of all, let's go over our targets that we have hit now. Simple fib pull from wave A, B, C. As we are saying, this was A, B, C towards the upside. Let's remove this golden pocket here because that's no longer relevant. So we came very close to that 1-to-1. Almost, pretty much for me this is a hit. For me this was also a nice area because we had some liquidity resting here above those highs. So that this gives us a nice confluence area to be looking for. And then obviously you come into this area and then you have a nice Elliott wave count, 3, 4, 5. And then it is time for those shorts and selling paper trades, of course. And yeah, looking towards the downside for this scenario is pretty nice in my opinion. Let's jump into the targets here. So the first target you want to pull here as you're looking for a zigzag towards the downside is pretty simple. Take it from the high all the way to the low of wave A. Let's remove this magnet. And then taking it to the high of wave B. And then you're looking for some drastic targets towards the downside, but it's not impossible, I would say. So I would definitely write this down on your chart. We're looking for around 11, 10k would be a nice area for this scenario. Definitely would not ignore it. Yeah, seems pretty nice. To keep it very simple here is something you could be looking for is a exact same thing as you saw here, the same pattern that played out beforehand. So you can use some bars pattern to make it simple. And then you can say, okay, we're looking for something like this to happen. Because you're looking for a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the downside. This is the simplest way you're looking for a zigzag. So 1-to-1 coming in at around 11 to 10k. In terms of time, you can also have a timing level here, a fib time here. Taking it from the high of wave A to the low of wave A to the high of wave B here. And then you can say, okay, let's take it also in terms of time to the 1-to-1. That is a nice target. That comes in at around the start of January. So it is something to keep in mind because usually when you're looking for a zigzag, you want to see the wave A and the wave C to be identical. Obviously, this is not always this. It doesn't always happen, but it's nice to have some kind of a reference point to use that as a target, and then you can say like, okay, this could be a nice target to look for some buys again on Bitcoin. I would definitely also take this liquidity here, just see the reaction, what happens there. Let's put some liquidity level there, and then you can make this target somewhat bigger, but yeah, it all depends on how we approach this level. And do we have some subdivisions like we had here? 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. It is all depending on how we approach that area. But it is nice so far. This is a pretty nice plan, I would say. Yeah, let's jump into the local structure here for now. If you have any questions about this count, let me know in the comment section. I will happily answer your question there if you do have a question about this. Let's jump into the local count here a little bit more. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, so as we are now looking for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towards the downside, we do have a clear invalidation set, of course. Let's go a little bit more locally here. I would like to see the first push towards the downside to give me more confirmation that we are entering the bearish scenario. As you can clearly see here on the chart, we have an invalidation. If price does decide to come into this invalidation level, then obviously my bearish scenario, my current bearish scenario will be invalidated. Obviously there's still a scenario that this pushes on and push a little bit higher here. I have something in mind. Obviously this is for the Discord members, but yeah, so we are always prepared. If price does decide to push up higher, we're not a deer stuck in looking in the headlights. We have a plan, we are prepared for if that does happen. So now going over this chart in this section here, for me it does look nice that this ended some kind of an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also how we track this and had our shorts area here ready set to get into the shorts. The first thing you notice here on the chart is that Bitcoin finally made a lower low here for now. Obviously this is the daily chart. Of course you could say, oh, it didn't take this low yet, but it did take this low from wave 4 to wave. For me this is an impulse, so we did make a new impulse wave. And if we are saying that this is a new impulse wave, then we could be saying that we are anticipating something like this to happen for the Bitcoin chart here. The bearish scenario, of course, keep in mind. And yeah, I do like this idea here. Just looking at it, I also went over with the members. I was like, yeah, I looked at this section here again, and it reminded me of a piece of price action that already happened. And I need to take you guys back in time here a little bit, and it is right here. So we can quickly go over this. This was an ending diagonal type of move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we had wave 4 sitting right here, and then wave 5 here. And the first thing that I noticed here on the chart is we had an impulse, and we took out wave 4 lows, and then we were looking for this move towards the upside before we had a bigger push to the downside. And for me, this section here is where I believe Bitcoin is right now. So if we just compare the two sections here, let's put some bars on this, and let's say we are right here for Bitcoin. Let's see where these targets headed us up. We had this at the golden zone, yeah, pretty much at the golden zone, a little bit higher than the golden zone, and then 786. And this was the first time that we were changing market structure as well. So we had a lower low, making a lower high, and then pushing up further down towards the downside. This is what I also would like to see for the bearish scenario to be happening on Bitcoin. Let's compare it to the section where we are right now. If I can drag this all the way there. All right, here we are. So obviously this is not going to be picture perfect. I'm not looking for it to be picture perfect, but this gives you guys a little bit more of an idea of what we can anticipate here for the Bitcoin chart. In my opinion, it always helps to go back in time, especially when you're using Elliott waves. Going back in time using the fractals that already happened, it does help me a lot in my opinion. So let's anticipate this wave 2. This could also get towards the golden pocket here, chop around here a little bit before we do eventually see another push towards the downside. This is what I'm personally tracking right now for this bearish scenario, and we will see what happens here. This is just a fractal that I like. Is it gonna happen? I don't know yet, but we are definitely aware of this fractal to be playing out. We do have this scenario that we come back towards this resistance zone, if I can talk here, hitting this area again, before then maybe we have some ingredients here, getting a lot of longs into this area before getting that bigger push towards the downside. Let's jump into the local count here a little bit here, what we can see. Let's hide this for now. So far on the chart, we see an impulse towards the downside. So for me, this is going to be wave 1. I'm not going to be giving you the local count here, but you get the idea here. This looks like an impulse. So for me, I chart it as an impulse. And then the next section also looks like an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then obviously what we can see is that potentially we are now making another zigzag towards the upside. So 5, 3, and then another 5 towards the upside. And this is what I'm currently looking at. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. Do we hit our invalidation towards the upside? Let's check this quickly here. Range, we are about to hit the value area high as well. So we have some confluence levels here. I would like to mark this as a red zone here for shorts or sells. A little bit higher here. Let's see where this wants to take it, or it wants to take. But for now, this looks like a nice scenario here for the Bitcoin chart. So something like this, making our way back here a little bit, pushing up a little bit again, before then making a bigger push towards the downside. I hope you guys are prepared for this scenario to happen. Of course, there's always a scenario where this gets invalidated, we break above, maybe we retest the value area high here, see that sign of strength, and we push up further high, towards the highs. I do have a count for that as well, but yeah, like I said, this is going to be for the members only. So the first targets you want to look at for the move towards the downside, if we do see a push up into this golden area, I mean this red box here, you want to see, maybe take some profits, definitely here at the lows, if we do have a move towards the downside, because it's always possible that it just swing failure the lows and then does another move towards the upside. So we want to protect yourself of that move. But of course, I would like to see us break that. And then maybe we can talk about at least 30K or even 25K. I do like 25K as somewhat of an area to be closing on to the wave 1 here of the first wave towards the downside, and then getting somewhat of a push up towards 30K again. This is the scenario that I would like to see. This is also far ahead in time, but yeah, we will see how this develops further on. Yeah, I think this is pretty clear. Get some kind of an ABC towards the upside, another push towards the downside, see the reaction here, and then I would like to see us continue down towards 25K, this area, and then yeah, potentially we get a nicer, bigger range here again as we are entering back into this old range. Yeah, that would be nice in my opinion. So I think that is pretty clear. Of course, if you have any questions for me, please let them know into the comment section. I'll be happy to help you, like I said. For those that are interested in learning about Elliott waves, we do have an educational program here. That we have a library, all videos from Elliott wave to order flow to pro basics, pro tactics, and volume, and more to come, of course. If you're interested in that, this is on the website. You can always go over the website. If you're interested about Elliott waves, I do like to share my Elliott wave counts. So you are interested about Elliott waves, you can always follow me on Twitter. And then keep in mind, I like to share some things, but some things are for the members, of course. Like these bigger trades that we're looking for, anticipating a bigger impulse towards the upside, ending here towards around 50K, and then potentially taking this short all the way down towards, yeah, like I said, maybe 11K, depending on if we hit our invalidation or not. So yeah, be sure to check us out if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers guys, bye bye.